Hi all, I have another amazing game from TCEC Season 13. Leela playing Senpai 2.0. So round 9, let's see what happened. C4 from Leela. We have the English opening, so these are the book moves given. This is the end of the book here. We see knight f3, and we go into the 4 knights system, knight c6. Now e3 is played. Quite often g3 is like the main choice here. For example, this position has been seen quite a bit, very interesting position with f3, and a lot of complications can arise there. So e3 is a little bit on the unusual side. We have bishop b4, queen c2, avoiding the possibility of having the pawns doubled. So bishop takes anyway, queen takes, d6. So black volunteering that dance square bishop. We have here b4, wait, Leela is gaining space on the queen side. And now again, b5 with tempo, kicking the knight. Bishop e2, we have c6. Now, Leela castles, c takes. Knight ed5, hitting the queen drops back. Bishop g4. h3, rook c8, queen b1. So Leela has offered her queen as target practice, tempo, gaining. But here, is this getting dangerous with bishop g6? We have bishop a3 here, queen d7. On bishop g6 here, it's not such a big deal, it seems. Maybe queen b3, white should be fine there. Okay, so queen d7, rook c1, an exchange of rooks. h6, a4, bishop g6 now, queen b3, rook c8, bishop f1 is played, bishop e4, threatening to double the pawns, the knight goes back to e1, bishop f5, now queen a3, b6, d3, we have bishop e6, bishop d2, knight e8, queen b2, and here black plays f5. This is quite interesting because sometimes f5 can lead to counterplay in the center with a timely d4 from a thematic point of view. Knight c2, knight e f6, we have rook c1, king f7, f3, knight b5, knight h5, pardon me. And now the king covers g3, that g3 square. We have g5. Now e4 is played. The knight goes back. If the knight goes to f4, then e takes f5 is good for white because of this g4. If black tries this to try and be tricky, white can play knight e1, protecting f3. And this position, white's just simply kind of winning a piece with minimal hassle. This is just going to be much better for white. Okay, so we have knight e7. Rook e1 is played. Queen c7. Now rook c1. Queen d7. Now here, actually, Leela goes for the c6 square. Knight b4. There's a tempting c6 square to I. Rook takes, queen takes. f4, black releases the central tension. An interesting possibility maybe to check out for a moment is d5 instead. But here, it seems knight c6, which threatens knight takes e5 check, is going to be at least okay for white. This kind of scenario is okay. White might have a small edge here. So, okay, f4, and yeah, there's a really interesting, powerful move in this position, which also seems pretty thematic. I wonder if you can guess. Test your positional play here. There's a really amazing move. So if I give you 5 seconds to pause the video, what would you play in this position? Okay, very dynamic. d4, temporary pawn sacrifice. Now, if knight g7, then actually d5, threatening to win a piece, it kind of wins a piece. Black would have to like sack a piece. It's hopeless for black there. So yeah, this is pretty dangerous. Black actually plays e takes d4 here, and now knight c6 threatening knight takes d4, for example, with advantage. So that knight's taken, but it gives white a dangerous c pawn here, queen c7. But now another key move in this position, really important move for white, very subtle actually. Can you guess again? Okay, the move is queen c2, very subtle stuff. It sets up e5 as a possibility. It holds on to the pawn still, whilst the bishop could also come and join onto the pawn. And then later, the possibility really of queen d3 is dangerous after that. For queen takes d4, this d pawn is slightly loose in this position. It's a vulnerability. So we see knight f6, and now the bishop a6 is played. Knight g8. You might think, hang on, this is a bit awkward. This queen's loose, so white plays e5, trying to play for queen h7 check to win the queen. So just to put that on the board, queen h7 check is actually winning the queen. So black plays king g7. Now e takes, and that pawn is unblockaded, and white is actually winning material here after c7. Yeah, there's c8. it's yeah, black's gone badly wrong here, it seems, somehow. So we have knight e7, white winning a piece. c8, queening. Black takes, so piece up here. Queen c5. Was this black's clever idea? Is there enough pawns here? Leela takes that. Bishop a6, stopping the pawns. Now the king, okay, after g3, the white king is still stuck on h2 whilst the black king is centralizing. So it seems a little bit dangerous. G takes, but now king g1. Knight d5, king f2, the king is centralizing now. Bishop a5 with the possibility of check and bishop b8 to hit a7. King d6. King e2. Now king d3, yeah, the white king is getting into a nice blockading square. So black's compensation seems to be evaporating. The threat of c4 may be dangerous here, but that's stopped. Check. Now king e4, the white king gets adventurous here. Knight d1. We have actually the possibility of knight f2 check. That's actually stopped here. So not taking the pawn, but just playing bishop e1, restricting the knight. We have king c7, bishop a6, king c6, h4. Yeah, white is doing very well here. Bishop d2 now. h5, bishop c4. Yeah, white's just, it seems, just material up for not much. Bishop takes f4, check. Knight a4, and the game ended here. If it continued, well, black is threatening knight b2 check in this final position, but bishop f7 say hits h5, and this position is just pretty hopeless. The pawns are going to be mopped up, basically. It's just as an example, the pawns are going to be mopped up. So yeah, an interesting game. It seems as though Leela got a very, very dangerous past c pawn, and with this temporary pawn sacrifice was able to win a piece tactically to unblockade the c pawn, win a piece, and then consolidate So an interesting positional game. It seems, yeah, it was made to look quite easy against Senpai there. So maybe getting the attention of Senpai. Okay, yeah, interesting game. Comments, questions, likes, shares appreciated. Thanks so much.